They're so pretty and so pigmented. Prepare yourselves. Look how pigmented. Hi you guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I'm so excited for this video because we're doing something we haven't done in a while. Actually, we're filming a Clean Beauty Code top 5, and that is my top 5 favorite products in a certain category. And today we're talking about my top 5 favorite powder blushes. I love powder blush, and it really, like, I know cream blush has been such a trend, but powder blush just lasts so long. It can look so, I mean, it can look powdery at times depending on, you know, how much you're applying, but also the formula, but it just lasts super long. It looks amazing on the cheeks. It layers beautifully with so many things. I don't know. I love a powder blush. So I'm really excited to do this video. I have a bunch of good products, and actually, before we get into the video, what do you think my top number 1 will be? Let me know down below. And yeah, I just want to jump into this video and get started because we're going to be swatching a ton of stuff. Lots to go over. So if you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into my top 5 powder blushes. All right, you guys, powder blush. Let's get into this video. So we're starting from the bottom, so number 5, and working our way up. And I'm really excited. Let's jump into the video. The first one, which hasn't actually gotten a lot of like FaceTime on my channel lately. I feel like I've talked about it a few times, but not very often recently. This powder blush from Mented, and this is in the shade Clay Too Much, which, first of all, name is so cute. This is the blush. First of all, the components of the Mented Cosmetics blushes are so great because they open fully up and they don't like slap down really. You know, you kind of just don't have, you just can keep holding it up and it's not going to slap down. I love that. It feels very expensive and luxurious. I was actually really impressed when I first got this, and the shade is gorgeous. If you struggle with finding pigmented blushes, especially, I feel like powder blushes can be a little bit tough if you can't find like the perfect pigmentation. They have so much pigmentation and they have a nice creaminess to them. I'm gonna swatch this on my hand. Let's do a little swatchy poo here. I feel like that'll be good. It's just gorgeous, and there isn't patchiness with this, which I really enjoy, and the finish is really nice because it has a matteness to it, but as the day goes on, your natural oils kind of peek through a little bit, and so after wearing it a little bit, it does kind of transform. It feels very natural and lightweight on the skin. I really enjoy this formula, and it doesn't have like an unbelievable powderiness to it, but it does have some powderiness, which I like. Just tap off the brush so you don't have too much product on it, because then you get the pigmentation on first application. It isn't scary and it's easy to kind of tone down, but I like that the pigmentation is there on first application and I don't have to feel like, okay, now I need to remember that I need to build this up kind of thing. I really, really enjoy Mented blushes, and they're definitely worth checking out. Okay, so the next is one I've used on this channel a few times. This is from Cover FX, and this is their monochromatic blush duo in matte and shimmer, and I got the shade Warm Honey, which is just, I mean, you dying? Because I am. Let me do a little swatch of the matte first. Here, so pretty. Look at that. It's just such a pretty shade, and then we're gonna go with the shimmer, which is also beautiful. These are true. Oh, look at that. And like the duo together is just gorge. They layer beautifully. They also layer like with each other, but they also layer beautifully with like creams and stuff. And what I will say is the creaminess that these have is wild. Like when you touch it, it doesn't feel like you're touching really a powder. And it has just such a creamy, look at that. Just such a creamy, beautiful finish. And the shimmer specifically is such a unique formula. It is shimmery, but it isn't glitter topper crazy, but it gives you a healthy look to the cheeks. But like if you, I mean, you can even just see the sheen that it gives is just unbelievably incredible. I love these blushes, and I'm definitely going to grab another shade. I think I'm going to grab one of the more pinky tones. This is like a true beautiful everyday type of shade. I mean, I want to make sure you can really see, because next to it is just, I don't know, I am obsessed with these, this is just such a good everyday blush shade for me, where it doesn't feel like it's too pink or too orange. It really just melts into the skin too. I don't know, I'm obsessed with this. I've talked about this a ton. Really, really, really good. And I feel like the formula is lightweight enough for it to be, if you have an event, like a wedding, like a work thing or whatever, where you want to kind of really make sure there's longevity and you're layering the powder on top of a cream, this is a really good product for that because it's lightweight but pigmented. I don't know, I'm unbelievably impressed with these. Okay, so number 3 favorite powder blush. These from Jason Wu Beauty, which I feel like no one's really surprised by, but also like surprised, you know what I'm saying? I love these. I have 3 of their palettes. So there is this one. This is called the palette, it's 05 Sext, which is gorge. I'm gonna do a little swatch for you guys of all the shades. Just took my watch off and just fell over. Look how pigmented those shades are. They're on the end here. I mean, crazy. And then I'm also gonna do a little bit here for this shade so you can see. They're so pretty and so pigmented. And for the price, I believe each of these is $19. I'm going to link everything down below and have stuff on the screen, but I believe each of these is $19 for 3 blushes, which is wild. And when you get this type of pigmentation, it's really nice. So these and this palette all tend to have kind of more of a shimmeriness to them, but they aren't so shimmery like in a negative way. If you're like the shimmery vibes that kind of Charlotte Tilbury or the Fenty Beauty like almost blush topper highlighters that they have, you'll probably really like this palette. They're beautiful and the pigmentation is wild. Okay, so next we have this one, and this one is the Babe from Saint-Tropez palette, and like, look at that. Look, it's so, like, ugh, I can't. And this is all mattes, which I really, really liked. And I'm gonna do a little bit here. And they're very pigmented as well, which is really nice. I love this shade specifically that I just swatched, this like pinky mauve tone, and this red shade. First of all, prepare yourselves. Look how pigmented. I mean, that's kind of crazy, right? It's wild. They're really nice. They're really buttery. They do have a little bit of kick up, but in a good way where like, you know, there's pigment on your brush, but make sure you tap it off because you don't want to over apply this because it's very, very pigmented, especially the red shade. I mean, look at that. Oh my god. So next we have this palette, and this is my Drive to Napa palette from them, and this is gorgeous. I love this palette, and this has a combo of like more shimmery but not quite as shimmery as the first palette, but a little bit of sheen to it, and then some mattes in here. And I really, really like this palette, and if you're a person that loves a purple blush, definitely check that out because it's gorgeous. I'm gonna do a little swatchy poo for you guys as well. Oh my gosh, look how pretty that is. Can you see it? I hope it's like picking up. Oh, it's so pretty. And then we have the mauve tone in the middle, which I also really like. I love a mauve like cheek. Look how pretty that is. Gorgeous. It's just so pretty. And then the most beautiful, in my opinion, in this palette is this shade. Look, it's so beautiful. Oh, I love these blushes. They melt into the skin. They're super affordable, and I just feel like I'm always, for the most part, maybe not every product, but for Jason Wu Beauty products, I'm always really, really impressed with the formulas, the pigmentation, and the wear of their products. Not everything is, of course, a smash hit. That never has existed in the universe of the world, but I really, really like their blushes, and I highly recommend checking them out. And they have 2 other palettes. One is more of a bright pink, which I definitely feel like when I last was looking on their website, it was sold out, and it was sold out like pretty much right away. And then there's one that's more of, I don't know, I'll put them on the screen. They're gorgeous. I highly recommend checking these out. And if you have a friend or someone in your life who's trying to get into makeup, but you know, they don't want to spend too much money for like a repurchase, if you gift them like this is going to be like a nice dummy proof product. And you know, it's not too hard. I feel like sometimes a lot of people are scared of powder blush, but these are really, really nice. I like these a lot. So the next, number 2 favorite powder blush. And I feel like everyone guessed it. Well, if you're new to this channel, you didn't guess it, but if you're not new, you probably guessed it. This is from the brand House Labs, and I have 2 of their powder blushes, and I know these are a more recent launch, but I'm freaking obsessed with these, and they're just a smash hit. So I have 2 shades. I have the shade Hibiscus Haze and Pomelo Peach, and they are just gorgeous. I mean, look at them. They're so cute. So I'm going to swatch it. These are really nice. The House Labs powders in general are really, really lightweight and creamy and just kind of melt into the skin, which is amazing. And they aren't heavy. I don't know. Sometimes powders that you apply to your cheeks can have like a little bit more heaviness to them and require slightly more blending. These have like no, like they literally just disappear. There's no like intense like amount of powder on your cheeks. The formulas of all their powders, their powder bronzer as well. Like I've just been unbelievably impressed with their powders. This one is gorge. I actually bought this one first, and then once I tried this one, I was like, okay, we're slapping another one in the bag because she's too good. So this one next that we're going to swatch is Pomelo Peach, which is, I'm not always a peach blush wearer. I don't know. I feel like I either go more of a neutral or sometimes pink, not always. But this seriously is so, so good. Oh my gosh. And it's not so orange. It's like the perfect peach tone that it doesn't have too much orange in it. It does have some pink. And it's just so beautiful, and they just melt into the skin. And I don't know, I'm unbelievably impressed by this. I just did a full review of these, so I'm not gonna gab on. I'm like correcting myself, and then I'm right. These are really, really good. I love these, and they are definitely more on the expensive side. However, I definitely think they are worth the money and worth checking out for sure. Definitely try them out. And if you do, let me know what shade you get and what you think. Let me know down below. Okay, now we made it to my number 1 powder blush. And I feel like if you're not new to this channel and you've watched a bunch of my favorites videos, you're not surprised by this. These are from Bare Minerals, and they're so freaking good. And these are their Gen Nude bronzer blush kind of duo. And I have 3 shades, and they're so incredible. My most worn shade is this one, Kiss of Pink, just because it's a really good everyday shade. And I literally wear it all the time. And if you're the type of person that loves the Hourglass ambient lighting blushes and you want something else that's kind of like that, these are amazing. They have a perfect sheen to them. I don't know if you can tell. It might be hard to tell like where I've swatched it, where I have all my hair on my arms. I'm gonna do a swatch actually on my palm because I feel like that'll be easier. They have, look at that. The sheen that they have is just gorge, and it seems like so like a natural flush from within, but also the sheen is a very natural sheen. I don't know, I'm obsessed with these blushes. They are really, really good. So again, this is the shade Kiss of Pink. On the palm of my hand, I'm covered in blush. And next we have this one, which is Kiss of Copper. This is a really beautiful summer shade for me. And I think for a lot of people actually, it is just so, oh my God. It is just so gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. Even look at the reflex that they have. I can't. And the pigment, it's pigmented, but in a good way. I don't know, I'm obsessed. Pigmented, but not heavy. I love it. I'm obsessed. They're just so gorge. And then last but not least, one that is just a good year-round shade for me for sure is the shade Kiss of Rose. And this is gorge. I'm gonna do another swatchy pull on my hand. Oh, it's just so beautiful. Look at that. Look at those, like, look at that. Look how beautiful they are. And again, the sheen, and I hope it picks up the light. Yeah, you can see there, like that sheen that they have is a very natural sheen. There's no glittery bits to it, but it makes you look so healthy, so youthful. And like the way that it photographs is like unbelievably beautiful. And the sheen is just so it makes you look so healthy. I don't know. I am obsessed with these. They blend into the skin really, really nicely. They are very thin in kind of formulation, very similar to the House Labs where they kind of just disappear and it doesn't feel like there's powder sitting on your skin. And they blend really, really easily. So these are definitely like dummy proof, easy peasy products to use. They are definitely pigmented, so just proceed with caution, but specifically the Kiss of Copper and Kiss of Rose are very, very pigmented. The Kiss of Pink is still pigmented, but on my complexion, it doesn't show up quite as intensely. It's just so good. I love these. I am truly obsessed, and I highly recommend you checking them out. I would love to know down below, what is your favorite powder blush or powder product? I'm in a powder product type of place where we're about to move into summer, and I need some powders. And I'm actually doing my makeup for a wedding this upcoming weekend, and powders are a must to survive. So I would love to know down below what your favorite powder products are, whether they're just setting powder, bronzers, whatever. Let me know down below. And yeah, that's it for this video. That is it for my top 5 powder blushes. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.